All right, welcome back, students. I'm making this video during period 4. They're graciously allowing me to make this. And I wanted to not only review with students as well as teach some new applications with period 4, which I've already discussed with 1, 2, and 3, but I wanted to make this available to anybody who is missing today. So with that said, hello and welcome to period 4. Today we are going to be going over quite a few new things as well as some review. These will all be needed and necessary when you complete project 3.2 and 3.3. You may also find some of them helpful as you complete 3.1. Also notice when you see Google Classroom, sorry, I've made this larger for my other students. Notice that 3.2 and 3.3 you should turn in on Google Classroom. However, 3.1 is not going to be turned in online. You will simply complete by following the instructions at the end of 3.1. This is the only time, as far as they know, that that will happen. The rest should all be turned in on Google Classroom. With that said, let's get to it. So the first thing that we're going to go over today, class, is word art. All right, so we're going to be inserting word art, and to do that, surprise, surprise, you're going to go to insert. From insert, you're going to go to word art. Now, word art is not completely like a text box, and we're going to write period 4 here. Notice that underneath it says use enter to save and use shift plus enter for multiple lines. So we're going to go to our shift, which is the bottom left right over the control key, and enter at the same time. Notice that it goes down period 4. Period 4 is what period 4? Is awesome. All right, so period 4 is awesome. We're going to press enter. And notice that once I've done that, you'll see it come over here and you'll be able to manipulate it any way you want. The difference between word art and text box is not that large. I will say that with word art, you cannot create borders around it. You'll have to put it within the text box itself. But let's go ahead and have some fun with this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the font. You guys are going to have to italicize some words. So right there, the I for italicize, let's italicize it. I've already talked to you a lot about format options. Let's play around with these for a minute, though. I really enjoy the drop shadow, and let's actually go ahead and change the transparency, make it darker. Oh, let's play around with the color. Let's change the color of the drop shadow to how about like a light green? I'm don't know if you know, but green is my favorite color. Not that it really matters. I just love the forest. So let's see, distance of the drop shadow. Ooh, okay, now we're getting somewhere. I like that. I like that. And then just playing around with the color of where is it? We're going to shut out the format, and let's change the color of the actual words. Let's make it nice and dark. There we go. All right, so period 4 is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and align it within the text box. Now, you understand how to create word art. Again, which application do we go to insert word art? Period 4? The insert button. Very good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the text box behind. Period 4 is awesome. We're going to click into it and we're going to manipulate the color and we're going to create a fill in color, okay? To do that, you're going to go to this small little bucket that is dropping a piece of, it looks like paint to me, or it's a drop of something. We're going to click onto it and we're going to change the color. Somebody tell me a color that you're all in art class, right? What's a color that goes well with green or complements it? Okay, well, white's not a color, and wow, wait, what complements green again?
Brown.
Okay, purple, purple. You guys are right about that. Okay, so let's change it to purple. There we go. And I don't know. I hear hate over there. Hate, come on. It's not that bad. A darker purple? Okay. Oh, you were right. You called that one. Very good. Looks better. Looks a lot better. All right. Wow. A lot of opinions in this class. Love it. So we're going to change the border color. Now the border is the edges around our text box. So to do that, you would simply go to this pen right here. You're going to click on it. I'm going to make it a black border. Notice you can barely see it because the border is so thin. To change that, we're going to go to change border weight. All right. So border weight, I'm going to make it a 12. And now we have a border weight of 12 for period 4 is awesome. Heads up, when you're creating presentations, notice the difference a border makes. All right. It's usually kind of substantial. It's just clean lines, very crisp. What is Mr. Bois trying to say within your creation? It looks good when you make borders. Sometimes. Maybe not if you got the wrong border color, but all right, enough said with that. We have now gone over word art, filling in colors, as well as changing the border color and changing the border weight. Let's now create a shape. To do that, surprise, surprise, we're going to go back to insert. From insert, we're going to go to shape. While there are many different shapes that you could use, keep in mind when you pick a shape, it doesn't automatically appear. You actually have to click and expand it. So I'm going to click and drag and expand a happy face. There we go. So there's our happy face, and I'm going to mess around with the fill color again. Since we kind of got a green theme going on, let's make it a little darker. I don't know, that's kind of weird. Let's try lighter. There we go. And border color black. Let's make it a little, there you go. And there we go. All right, so now we've inserted a shape. And again, to insert word art or shape, where do you guys go for applications? Insert. The next thing that we're going to do and review, actually this is review now. We're kind of stepping into review. Actually, before we review, we need to go over one more thing. And that is tables. So, where do you think I'm going to click to insert a table? Love it. You guys are on. So, notice that with the table creations, we could make something as large as between a 14 and a 12 or smaller. Actually, I think the biggest you can get is a 20 by 12. No? Okay, I can't read that. What does it say? Okay, I think it was I don't know how big you can get it, but it can get big. Okay, that's the whole point. And we're going to create a table that is 2 by 2. All right, we're going to click on it. Notice that it's now right there. When we click out, it's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to click back in. I'm going to highlight it. And I'm going to change it, the borders. No, I don't want to just change that border. I want to change all of the borders. So you got to highlight the whole thing. Which I thought I had done. There you go. Now all the borders are dark. Let's make them a little bit thicker, and let's change the fill color to first person to state a color. Pick it. I heard blue first. Okay, so we have blue, and let's go ahead and as you write, you need to click tab to go to the next one. All right, I'm going to highlight that, and I am going to, there we go. Let's bolden that. And let's see. wait, 8. All right, so here we have our table. Just a fun fact, you're not going to work with this all the time until we really get to sheets, but if you right click on the table, you can go to inserting the rows above, below, inserting them to the left, right, deleting the row, deleting the column, or in fact deleting the whole table. As you can see, we could insert rows above, we could insert a column to the left, all right, or we could delete one row. But we're going to go back to our original one since it just looks nice. With that said, does anybody have any questions before we move on? All right, so the final 2 pieces for our lesson today. And again, this part now is review, is going to be the transition and animation. By transition, we mean the transition from slide to slide, and by animation, we mean picking what we have put on the slide and adding some type of movement to it. All right, so we're going to start with our first slide, and we're going to add some transitions to the next slide, okay? To do that, you actually don't hit insert. I know we've been hitting that all day today. You actually go to slide. All right, so class, just to reiterate and let me know when I transition, what application do I go to? Very good. So I'm going to hit slide. From slide, I'm going to find transition and click on it. From transition, you're going to see on the right-hand side the motion to transition from slide to slide. We're going to go from none, and we're going to choose, we're going to go ahead and we're going to slide from the right. Now notice I can change the seconds and the timing of the slide. The faster it is, the harder it is to see. I don't recommend that you constantly keep it on the absolute slowest, which is about 4.95 seconds, but I do recommend that you keep it in between the medium and slow. You could apply to all slides, which is what we're going to do. And from here, we're going to transition at the bottom. Do you see how they already have animation prepared for us? We're going to go here, but just for a heads up, if you did not want to add transition and then go to slide, you could also transition and then go to animation. You could go down to insert and find animation and simply do animation, all right? But we're going to do it right over here. So we're going to select an object to animate. Notice I can't click on that until I've selected an object. Let's select our happy face, and we're going to add the animation. And what do I want to do? Fade in. How about we spin? All right, so we're going to spin, and we're going to bring that down to about 3.4 seconds. And how about we add some animation here? And should we, somebody pick one for me. Do you want to fade in, fade out, fly, or zoom? Fly, okay, what kind of flying? Flying in from the top? All right, we'll put that at medium, and you can play it to see what it looks like briefly. Notice that it says on click, so I have to click the next one. All right. Very nice, very nice. And press slide or press enter to continue. We're going to press enter. We're going to go to our next slide, and we're going to add one more animation right here. And we're going to have it simply fade in on the click. We're going to make it a little bit slower, and we're going to call that a day. All right, so with that said, let's present and see how our transitions and animations come together. Are you guys ready? Yeah. All right. Ooh. There you go. Fade in. Very good. Ta-da! And we've completed our transitions. We've completed our animations. Today, guys, we've completed all the new information that you needed for 3.1 as well as 3.2 and 3.3. Well, actually, technically, it was only 3.2 and 3.3. We talked about adding in word art. We've discussed how to fill in color as well as create borders and add weight to the borders. We've added shapes. We added and manipulated tables. With that said, are there any questions at this time? All right, the last thing that I want to do is take a look at 3.1. And I'm going to go for my students who are going to be watching us online. I'm going to go to 3.1 here and show you all, those of you at 3. I'm sorry, 3. Those of you in period 4, you can use your books or you can read along with us on my TV. I just wanted to show you this picture right here. Does everybody see that? The picture right here with our title, our text, and our image. To have this text box right here, originally it's going to simply be right here, and what you need to do is click and drag it to the side, all right? From there, then you will bring in this image, okay? Oh, I'm having technical difficulties. Sorry, those of you who are watching, I'm having difficulties, but I'll just finish up by saying on 3.1, gotta get there again in my book, so sorry. And also for you, period 4, on slide 5, don't forget, it says slide 5, which is number 7 in the instructions on page 92. It says to change the line spacing. Don't forget to change the line spacing. You go to the box that has the lines upside down, arrows on the side of it. And then on page 93, number 8, it says to key the following text as italics. You can key the text, highlight it, and then after that, simply press the I for the italics box. It says to print this, but there is no need to do that. And then you're simply going to email this 3.1 to me. Again, keep in mind 3.2 and 3.3 will be turned in on Google Classroom. They will not be emailed to me. And with that said, that completes our lesson for the day, period 4. And students watching period 4, do you want to say goodbye to them? Bye.